Hi, I'm Randy Jeffers, and there was a mother that she jumped up as soon as she saw the surgeon come out of the operating room, and she says, how's my little boy? Is he going to be all right? When can I see him? And the surgeon said to her, he said, I'm sorry, we did all we could, but your little boy didn't make it. And the mother says, why do little children get cancer? Doesn't God care anymore? Where were you, God, when my son needed you? And the surgeon said, well, would you like some time alone with your son? One of the nurses will be out in a few minutes before he's transported to the university. Well, the mother asked the nurse to stay with her while she said goodbye to her son, and she ran her fingers lovingly through his thick hair, and the nurse said, would you like a lock of his hair? And the mother nodded yes, and so the nurse cut a lock of the little boy's hair and put it in a little plastic bag and handed it to the mother. And the mother said, it was Jimmy's idea to donate his body to the university so that they could use it for studying. And he said it might help someone else. And, I said no at the time because I just didn't want to do that. But my son said, Mom, I won't be using it after I die. Maybe it will help some other little boys. Maybe he could spend just one more day with his mom. And she went on, my son, he just had this heart of gold. Always thinking of everyone else, never himself, always wanting to help others if he could. And the mother walked out of the hospital for the last time after spending most of the last 6 months there. And she put the bag with her son's belongings and the little bag of hair next on the seat beside her, and she drove home. And that drive home was so difficult. I mean, it was even harder to when she got home to go into the empty house, and so she carried all of his belongings in a little plastic bag with the lock of his hair to her son's room, and she started placing his model cars and all the other personal things back in his room exactly where he'd always kept them. And then she laid down across his bed and hugged her pillow, and she just cried herself to sleep. Well, it was around midnight when the mother woke up, and laying beside her on the bed was a folded letter. And the letter said, Dear Mom, I know you're going to miss me, but don't think that I will ever forget you or stop loving you just because I'm not around to say I love you. I will always love you, Mom, even more with each day. Someday we'll see each other again, and until then, if you want to adopt a little boy so you won't be so lonely, that's okay with me. He can have my room and old stuff to play with, but if you decide to get a girl instead, she probably wouldn't like the same things as boys do. You'll have to buy her dolls and stuff. Girls like those things, Don't be sad thinking about me. This really is a neat place. Grandma and Grandpa, they met me as soon as I got here, and they showed me around some, but it'll take a long time to see everything. The angels are so cool. I love to watch them fly, and you know what? Jesus doesn't look like any of his pictures. Yet when I saw him, I knew it was him. Jesus himself took me to see God. And guess what, Mom? I got to sit on God's knee and talk to him, just like I was somebody really important. That's when I told him that I wanted to write you a letter to tell you goodbye and everything. But I already knew that wasn't allowed. Well, you know what, Mom? God handed me some paper and his own personal pen to write you this letter. I think Gabriel is the name of the angel who's going to drop this letter off to you. God said for me to give you the answer to one of the questions you asked him. Where was he when I needed him? God said he was in the same place with me as when his son Jesus was on the cross. He was right there, as he always is with all his children. Oh, by the way, Mom, no one else can see what I've written except you. To everyone else, this is just a blank piece of paper. Isn't that cool? I have to give God his pen back now. He needs it to write some more names in the book of life. Tonight I get to sit at the table with Jesus for supper. I'm sure the food is just going to be so great. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you, I don't hurt anymore. Cancer is all gone, and I'm glad because I couldn't stand that pain anymore, and God couldn't stand to see me hurt so much either. That's when he sent the angel of mercy to come and get me. The angel said I was a special delivery. How about that, Mom? Signed with love from God, Jesus and me. Here's to your absolutely incredible success.